Good morning, good morning, good morning, folks. Welcome to another episode of Spilling Tea. I am your host, Tiffany Daniels. And, folks, welcome to another very stupid o'clock in the morning. And I do mean stupid. Take a look at the article we're going to be taking a look at this morning. Now, this comes to me via the Actually Autistic community on Twitter, which, as you know, is always one of the best grapevines to receive information about what's going on in the autistic community. So, before I get started, again, very stupid o'clock. And a few disclaimers, real quick, while we go ahead and take a break from the massive garbage pile that is Judge Bernstein's report. First off, you are going to see the link to this article right there in the description box, as well as other pertinent links to the Stop the Shocks campaign, including Autistic Koya's massive archive on the case, my own video when I first heard that they were still continuing the shocks back in April, in spite of the FDA ban, which was never enforced due to COVID. And then the preceding videos as they made that horrific decision on July the 7th of this year to overturn the FDA ban by the DC Circuit Court. Also, you have the templates, sign your name, click on your senator, most important 2 minutes of your day, folks, and also the ever-present change.org Shut the Judge Rotenberg Center Down petition. All right, folks, so without further ado, this is coming to us through BostonCBSLocal.com. Now, I don't expect what we are about to see here to be particularly positive. I expect this to be something that's going to probably make me want to vomit. But we'll see what we'll have to see here while I fight with my internet. Pardon me here, folks. I guess while I'm waiting to fix it here, we are talking about the JRC, folks. You're going to be hearing vivid descriptions of, as well as catching video clips from surveillance camera footage of people with disabilities being tortured and abused. If you have young children present, please use your headphones. And also, folks, it may be 5:15 a.m., but it is still stupid o'clock. So if I stumble over any of my words this morning, my apologies in advance. All right, let's go ahead and see what this garbage fire is. Okay, this thing's going to have a lot of commercial, folks. My warnings in advance. Okay.
Change from years prior. Trying to harm the animals, trying to harm me or my wife, breaking things. Joseph has severe autism and other issues and often took his feelings out with aggression. So,
Oh my God, here we go. This is what they do, folks. They fucking victim blame us all the goddamn always. Now, I'm not going to tell you that it is not a reality that people with autism can get violent. I'm not going to tell you that it is not a reality for parents to be struck by their autistic child. What I will tell you is a reality is nobody cares enough to figure out why, what is causing the behavior. They would rather just assume that it is impossible to find out what is causing the behavior, completely just dismiss any way their child tries to communicate unless it's verbal and they can hear it, and then, send them to a place like this. I do not think it is okay, and I do feel for the parents. I do. Remember, I've worked in this field, guys. I'm not an unfeeling monster who only sees my side. That's not true. Okay? I just wanted to get that out there. But every goddamn time I see shit like this, when you sit there and list our offenses like it's the only thing that matters, when we get painted as goddamn monsters who deserve this kind of treatment, I don't even know what to tell you. But sending your kid to a school that tortures them is not the goddamn answer. All right? You gotta think outside the box here. Because guess what? The minute those electrodes come off, what happens? The behavior comes back. You're not doing anything that actually helps them. You're not. You're not, okay? If you want to solve a problem, you must find out first what the problem is. Otherwise, all you're trying to do, but they need to control their behavior, Tiffany, and this is all that works. No, it isn't. It isn't. And guess what? I have worked with parents in crisis situations, okay? Don't come in here and tell me that torturing these kids is the fucking answer. It's not. And no matter what they say that the kid has done, nobody deserves this. Nobody. And they use this all the time to justify what they're doing in this school. Depriving people of food is not the answer. Depriving them of sleep is not the answer. Shocking, torturing, and traumatizing them is not the answer. It's not going to make them better. It's going to make it worse. Maybe you want a traumatized and compliant child, but that's not fucking okay. There are other ways. There are other schools of thought. There are other treatment methods. Now, I bet the next thing we're going to hear is how they tried everything, right? Right? Watch.
So when Mom and Dad were able to place him in the Canton facility that gave him the kind of specialized therapy he needed,
it saved our lives.
Here he learned to cook, hold down a job, and meet friends.
Oh, hell no. They didn't even go that route. They went straight to the Judge Rotenberg Center. You hear that, guys? Most of these parents will try to backpedal, right? They'll try and say, we tried everything. These kids, parents, didn't even try. And did you notice he said saved our lives? Our lives are better. Let's not give a damn about your kid's life. How are they feeling? Is their life better? But they're teaching him how to cook and hold down a job. Really? Folks, let me ask you something. If you are hooked up to a device that is designed to hurt you, and you are in constant fear of receiving a shock 3 times more powerful than a police stun gun, tell me, how much would you be able to focus on whatever it is they are teaching you? Answer me honestly now. I find it, I can't believe it. They just went straight to Canton. They didn't even try anything else. They didn't even try. This poor kid. Nope, they're going to paint it poor parents. I know it. They do it all the time. But if their kid was acting out like this and their first thought was to send them to this place after everything that has come out about it, it makes me wonder about what might exactly have been provoking that behavior. Just just saying.
Friends, and they planned to keep him here to take part in the center's adult program. But when Joseph turned 21, New York State's Office for People with Developmental Disabilities sent the family a letter saying they wanted to move him to a facility in upstate New York, giving them 2 weeks to make a decision.
Oh, how horrible. The state of New York wants to do for your son what you refuse to do. Put him in a program that is not going to torture him. Put him in a program that's going to help work on finding the reasons behind the aggression instead of traumatizing him. Instead of wanting to try it, no, you want him to be continued to be tortured into adulthood. Let me ask you something, parents. Is this really about helping your child? Or is this about revenge? Because they said, well, he hit us and did things to us, and this is the only place that can help them. I sometimes wonder, and I don't want to come off as cold here or unfeeling. It is awful to live in fear of your own child. I don't have a child, but I have seen it with the parents that I worked with. It's a horrible thing to see. But what people don't realize is it's horrible on both sides. You think that kid wants to be acting that way? No, they don't. Look into their eyes, you can tell they don't. But schools like this would rather traumatize the hell out of you and torture you into compliance rather than doing the logical, rational thing, which is finding what the problem is that is the source of behavior and working on that. The fact that these parents did not even research anywhere else but this place, I find it very telling. And I'm sorry, I don't mean to diminish any parent's situation. I'm sorry, but the fact that they didn't even look at anywhere else other than the Judge Rotenberg Center makes me highly suspicious of the parents and the spin they are trying to put on this.
Adding otherwise, they may not provide further funding. We learned that there are individuals there that are disabled but have committed crimes awaiting trial. Being rehabilitated for murder, arson.
Oh my God. So they're victim blaming. You heard that, right? Murder, arson. No, they're not, folks. No, they're not. This is the propaganda machine that the Judge Rotenberg uses to rope in parents just like them. See, they want parents like this. They want them to seem like your everyday. They want them to convince you that what is happening at that center is okay and right when we all know better. Let's see what else they have to say here.
Rape, it wasn't designed for Joseph Boy's needs. It was designed for criminals. The agency says once a student completes the
Oh, did you hear that? Did you hear that? We have just been compared to criminals by these parents. Did you hear that? See, this is what these parents in the Judge Rotenberg Center think of us. They don't think of us as human beings, deserving of rights and a sense of safety and a sense of autonomy. No, to them, we are criminals. We are monsters. And this is what we deserve. That one sentence was extremely telling. Let's watch the rest of this.
Their education in out-of-state residential school programs, it strives to ensure that the student can return to New York State to receive appropriate adult services. State Assemblyman Andy Havesi says that other families are facing the same dilemma.
We're concerned that this might be a pattern and happen to more families.
Havesi believes the agency is violating.
Let me get this straight. You are concerned that the state of New York is doing the responsible thing and getting kids out of this horrific nightmare of a place. And you're afraid of more students leaving and going into programs that are safe and will actually work for them? Instead, it's all about the money, folks. It is all about the money with these people. We are literally nothing but dollar signs to them. Nothing but dollar signs. $285,000 a year ahead. I'm not lying. Look it up. Google it. Go ahead, I'll wait. We are nothing but dollar signs and monsters to be controlled, abused, and experimented on. Our emotions don't matter. Our thoughts don't matter. The only thing that matters is we shut our mouth, comply, and take our torture without a word.
A law passed after other families said the state was abruptly moving their children out of their group homes in 2014. The law allows the families to have due process with a hearing before a judge and a chance to keep their kids where they are.
Yeah, you have a chance to you have a fucking chance to have the state. This is not even coming out of your own pocket. You have a chance to put your kid in a program that will actually be good for them. Actually be good for them. Where they no longer have to live in fear. Where they no longer have to worry about being tortured for daring to stand up for themselves. And you would rather fight to keep your child where they are being abused, instead of having the state pay for your child to go to a program where they are not being tortured. What the hell fucking Jim Jones special level of crazy is this?
Last thing you want is people to regress.
The Atkinsons believe that's exactly what.
Regress? You've traumatized these kids. They are now psychologically damaged on top of physically damaged for the rest of their damn lives. They're going to have to live with the horrors you all put them through forever. And you want to talk about regression? Of course they're going to regress. That's what happens when you first pull someone out of a dangerous situation. We regress. We have a moment. I know. I did. Speaking from personal experience here. But after that regression, when we start to recover, when we start to heal, then the real work starts, folks. That's when we can start actually working on our problems instead of masking them by using horrific abuse and traumatizing us into being damn near comatose.
What will happen to their son if he's forced to move?
I'm scared for his future.
No, you're not. No, you're not. If you were scared for his future, you would have never put him in a hellhole like this, where he's being tortured, abused, starved, deprived of sleep, constantly in fear of staff jumping out at him, threatening him with knives, pins, for their horrific behavioral lessons, where he's subject to possible sexual assault. If you were actually concerned about his future, you would have done your homework and you never would have fucking put him there. And on those final thoughts, folks, I'm going to go ahead and close out for this morning. Now, we don't get very many views on this channel, especially on this subject. The few that we do get do tend to get removed from time to time. So, folks, please don't forget to hit the like button, hit subscribe, don't forget to hit the comments. What I also want you to do, folks, is to let Boston CBS Local know how you feel about their victim blaming and their advocacy for the torture and abuse of people with disabilities because the parents say so. Let them know. They have the links right here underneath the video. Let them know how you feel about that. All right, folks, I do appreciate your time this morning. And as always, we here at Spilling Tea hope you have a good one. Bye-bye.